Hello everyone, this is Raman, and today's lecture we will talk about the prototypes. So what is prototype? So whenever we create a function, then it basically creates two types of objects. One is the function object and second is the prototype object. So to demonstrate it, I'm just going a little bit different here. I will run the application in the console mode. So it will be uh, more visible as compared to the if we do it document.write. So this is my console. So let me clear everything here and I'm writing the code here. Say an example, I'm creating a function called test function and which is empty. Okay, so at this time the test is nothing. So if I put test, so see here you can see it the function created, and that function is having one more object which is called prototype. Okay, so function is basically returns an object for the prototype, and this is of object type, right? So what basically it is having one property called underscore underscore proto, which is pointing to the object prototype. So let me simplify it. So currently what we are having the test method. Okay, and this test method is empty. Now let me create a variable, say my object, and I'm saying equals to new test. So when we are doing this with the new object, uh, my object equals to new test, what will happen? It basically creates a property which is called underscore underscore proto. And that property of this my object points to the prototype property of the function. So I will show you in a minute. So this is undefined. Now let me say my obj. So my obj is an object, right? Which basically having function and a property which is called underscore underscore proto. And this underscore underscore property points to test prototype object. Even though if I create one more object here, if I say my object 1 equals to new test. So if I say my object 1, so it will have a property called underscore underscore proto underscore underscore, which is an object, but it ultimately it is pointing to the prototype object of the function. Which object function? That is test. Now to prove that it is the same object, what I will do, I will say test dot prototype equals to my object dot underscore proto. So it should return true. So it is returning true. So it means both are pointing to the same object. Now if I say test dot prototype dot, I'm creating one property, say my property equals to, I'm saying prototype property, some value I'm giving prototype property. Okay, so now if I say test, so test will have prototype, and that prototype will have the my property, right? And which has the value prototype property. Now if I say my object dot underscore underscore proto dot my property, it should print the same result. So you can see it is giving the same result. Same way we can say my object one dot underscore underscore proto dot my property. So because both the proto underscore underscore proto properties points to the same prototype, that is why it is giving the same result. Now next is that, say an example, I have my object and I am saying dot new property equals, if I say new property, it is undefined, right? I don't have that property. But behind the scene, what JavaScript engine is doing, JavaScript engine first checks whether this new property is available in the my object. If yes, then it will print that value. If that new property is not available in the my object, then it will search for its underscore underscore proto underscore underscore property. Means it will go to the prototype object of the function and it checks whether this property is available over there or not. If it is available over there, then it will use that property. So here now we have seen this property is not available. So even if I write again, this is saying undefined. Now what I will do, I will add a property into the test object. So I'm saying test dot prototype dot new property equals to added new property. So some property I'm adding into it and semicolon. Now if I say my object dot new property, then let us see what it returns. So see, it is returning the same result. So what that behind the scene it happens, this new property does not found in the my object, then it searched its underscore underscore proto property, okay, and where it goes to the its test object prototype, and there it finds the property new property is defined and it is printing that value. Same way if I use the my object one dot new property, it basically prints the same value. Now say an example, I have my object one dot new property and this property is the native property of the object one and I'm saying it's a native property. Okay, so basically what I'm doing here, so my object one dot new property is the native property of the my object one. So now it will print the same thing. So if I say my object one dot new property, it prints native property, but when I say my object dot new property, it will print the its prototype property. And as soon as I delete uh, the property of my object one dot new property, and if I say now again my object one dot new property, then it should print the prototype value. So let me see if I forget anything to mention. So this all I have covered. So thank you very much for watching it. and next tutorial we will further see the prototype uses in the inheritance. So bye for now.